Hello guys, this is Horizon here from Horizon Development. As you can see, we're on my desktop, and today we're going to be going over some Fivem development, and I'm going to be starting off today here with a very useful thing to know, very simple, and you will use it a lot, and I'm going to be giving you insight on 3 ways to do it. One, the way we're going to do right here through the base game and natives. And then if you're using ESX, so let me pull those over here. All right, so here you go. So this is one method you can use. This is ESX. So this is going to be a framework that you would build your server on by using different resources that use ESX's functions. So as you can see, they have a really good documentation here on how you can register a command through them, and gives you all the argument types and function arguments. And another way you can use, even if you were using ESX, is overextended. Overextended is the group that makes MySQL, which is what almost every server uses. Oxlib, a lot of servers use, which is going to be your interface and a bunch of other commands. And they are also currently working on their own framework that you can, at some point when you see this video far in the future, might be using as well. So Oxlib has a system in here where if we go through Oxlib, modules, AddCommand, and it's done all in the server. They have a really good example here in how you actually set it up, and it gives you a really good explanation of how you should write it out. You can copy and paste this and use it in your scripts. A good way to, and I can run through this real fast, so you just have your name of the command. This is what you're going to type in your chat to use it. This is a description that pops up underneath the command. This, the way we're going to do today, I know it is possible to do this, but I, at this moment, do not know how to actually display this with the method we're going to use, so we're just going to keep it basic. And then these are your parameters. So this is how you add arguments, which is what we will be going over. And then this is just okay, yes, this is another argument, and then this is restricted, so only people that are admin can use this command. And then you have its function. It is being triggered on the source, which is us, because we are targeting this. Args, which is arguments, and then raw. I'm gonna be honest, at the time of recording this, I'm a little foggy on what the raw actually does. Local is your variable. Item equals the args.item. So it's saying whatever we put here in the items, it wants to use that. Then if there is an item, so like if you didn't leave it blank, then inventory, add item, and then it uses the other args that you put in here and gives you the item. Alrighty, so inside our resources folder, which you can find when you set up the server, we're going to make a new folder. And just for the this video, I'm going to be titling it, and you need to put it in brackets. We're going to be titling it Tut. So because it's in brackets, anything we put in this folder, any resource we put in this folder, after we ensure it in our server config, will run. You don't need to ensure it by itself, but also if you leave it in here and you need it to start before something else, you can always ensure it as well. So inside this folder, we're going to make a new folder, and we're going to call it tut underscore commands. And then in here we need to make 3 files. So we're going to do new text document, and the first one's going to be fxmanifest.lua. Yes. Then we need to do that again. And we're going to name this one client.lua. And the next one server.lua. And don't forget to get rid of the .text like I did there. Alrighty, so now that we've got these made, we now need to open up your code editor of choice. I like to use Visual Studio Code. If you've never opened it, yours might look a little different. I have a couple themes and extensions installed. You can find guides for installing stuff like that before, but the quick and easy way to explain it is if you come over here to extensions, you can see I have installed a couple things here, but they are not necessary to do this. So as you can see, we have our folder open here. We're going to go to our server config, and we are going to ensure, and then remember in brackets, tut. So now anything inside the tut folder will be automatically ensured. But say for instance, if we needed to, say if we had a resource in here called cars, but commands had to be started in front of it, we could leave it inside tut and we would just do ensure commands. There we go. But we don't need that, so we can delete that. Okay, now we're going to go and open up our tut folder. And as you can see, we only have tut commands in there. So first we need to set up our FX manifest. I have already done it, as you can see. But all you would need to do is fill this out. We have our server version. Well, not server version. This is our script version. Author. Quick description. And then you declare your client script and your server script. These two are necessary. But if you don't declare your file, it will not launch. And there's different ways to do this. So say if you need to do multiple client scripts, what you would do is instead of just client script, it would be client underscore scripts, and then you would put it in brackets, and then it would be client.lua, and then you would put a comma, and then whatever other ones you'd have, you'd declare that way too. But for now, we just need to declare one, so we're going to go like this. And as you see, we have it ensured there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our client and open that up and server. So there's two ways you can actually register commands. You can do it client and server side. It's probably better off to do it server side, and I'm going to show you where in the documents you can find any of these things. So this is your native reference, so I will have a link to this in the description, as well as where you can find it in the aux and also in the ESX documentation. So as you can see, if we go here, it's currently set to all. If we set it to server side, you have register command, and if you hit client side, you see register command. And you can also see it in C# and JavaScript if you are using those languages. For now, we're just going to be sticking with Lua, and we're going to start with the client side. So this is how you would write in client side. It is got a very good description, so it lays out how you would write it. So you have register command, and then you have your command name, which is what you type in your console, your chat to activate it. The function, and then restricted. So this would be like if you want to restrict it to people. So this has a good example. And we're going to be adding args, so we need to do all these. So we're going to do two different ones. And as you can also see, it is done pretty much the exact same way on the server side. So we're going to register two commands, one on the server side and one on the client side. So how we're going to do it is we're going to go over here to our client side, and we're going to start with register command, and then it is going to be in brackets, and then always come down here for your end, and then we come back up. This one's going to be, what do we want to do with this? I know what we're going to do is we're going to make a ping pong. So what we're going to do, and we're going to be adding in args to this as well. So we're going to title it ping, and then we need to put a comma, and then it's going to be function, and then we need to put in source args raw, And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna write a command that if we type it, give it ping, it's going to send us pong, or if we give it pong, it's going to give us ping. So how we're gonna do this is we're going to do local input, I cannot type, input equals args, and then it's going to be in the brackets 1. Then we need to do if input is equal, you need 2 equals, to, and it's going to be, since it's a string, we need to put it in comments, and it's going to be if it is ping. Oh, we forgot our then. Print, and then it's going to be on. Okay, now that we've got this, there's 2 different ways you can do this next part. We could do an else, which would be if it's anything other than ping, it'll return pong. But we're going to do what's called an else if. So if we do else if input equals pong, then print ping. And then we're going to do 1/3 else, which is going to be else. So this is if we get anything else, we don't need to put input or anything. We're going to come down and it is going to be print ping on. All right. And then always need to, any if statement or do or anything like that is always going to have an end to close it. So now we've done that, this should work in server. And we're just going to copy this and do the same thing on the server side, but we're going to change a couple of these out. So this is going to be ding, and if input is ding, then print dong, dong, ding. And then we're going to change this to ding, dong. So now we have these, and then now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our TX-admin. Okay, now that we're in our TX-admin, what you're going to do is you would see stuff here, but we're going to restart. And then while that does that, don't hit the back button like I just did. While that does that, we're going to come over here to this. And hopefully I didn't break something. Okay, so I refreshed it. You can see it. So now that we've got this, and if you're doing this local, you will see this. Don't worry about this. This just means it's not able to connect to the listing, so your server isn't showing up on the Fivem server list, which is usually good for a local server. All right, and then if we give it a moment, we should see LAN pop up here in a moment. There it is. All right, now that we're in the server, we're going to test ping. As you can see, it does show up. And if we type enter without anything, we get ping pong. And if we do ping, ping, we get pong. And then if we do ping pong, we get ping. And then we can do the same thing with dong. So slash ding, ding dong. And then if you don't have a brain fart like I did, ding ding, we get dong, and then we do ding dong, we get ding. Alrighty. So that was all for this quick tutorial. I hope you did enjoy, and I hope you did learn something. If you did, give it a like, give it a subscribe if you did enjoy. If you disliked or want to see something else done, let me know in the comments below. And if there's anything specific you'd like to see in the next tutorial, also put that in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. Have a nice day.